So the announcements here for this week, obviously we have Christina Delgado on the National Wake Up Call today. What It Takes with Tanya Barron will be on Tuesday. And then there's going to be a shift shop training by Chris Downing on Wednesday. That might be worth attending. Kevin's going to be kind of asking Chris some questions about proving grounds. Also there will be another training on Friday. I'm sure that the banner has been updated to the Champions page as well. So if you're looking to see what's going on that week or this week, make sure you check that out. Other than that, guys, I'm super excited about today's call. I messaged Nicolette last minute. And I was like, hey, as a good friend here, can you jump on and give us some amazing tips, some things that you're doing with your team that are just really working. And I had the privilege of, when I was in the Southeast region, working with Nicolette, working with some of her personally sponsored coaches, and they're just such an amazing team. And just to kind of give you a little background, and if you didn't read the intro to Nicolette, she's a mom to 2 kids. She's married. She's been a Beachbody coach for 4 years. She's a 2-time elite coach, 7-star diamond. She's a 2-star diamond in her 2nd business center and an emerald in her 3rd business center. Success Club 10 All-Star legend, 49 months. Guys, she's been rocking it. She's been doing some great things, and I'm excited about today's call. Nicolette, jump in here. Tell us a little bit more about you and how you got started with Team Beachbody.
Okay, well, first of all, the 3rd business center is now diamond, so.
There you go. So it's diamond.
Hi, I'm super excited to be on the call. Yes, I have been at this for 4 years. I am so in love with this job that I have as a coach. I do it full time. I structure my day around my children. They're 3 and 4 years old, Lachlan and Evangeline. So, and I'm going to get into that a little bit with some of the tips I have for you guys today. But formerly, I was a 1st grade teacher.
Nicolette, you just got muted for, I don't know how you, sorry.
Okay, there we go. I don't know how long I was muted for, but formerly I was a 1st grade teacher. That I thought was my dream job until I had kids of my own. And, once I had Evangeline, I was 6 months postpartum with her. I didn't go back into work. And the walls were kind of just closing in on me. I needed something for me. And I was, just finding myself unhappy and feeling guilty for feeling unhappy because I was home with my daughter. And enter the opportunity to become a Beachbody coach. Initially, I ignored it, but I joined a challenge group. I tried T25, completely fell in love with Shakeology at the first sip and the whole atmosphere that challenge groups had to offer. I decided to enroll as a coach myself, and I ran from the get-go because I loved everything that this company had to offer. And I truly 100% felt like every single person needed the opportunity to give, at least challenge group, Shakeology, a fitness program. They needed to know about it. They needed to give it a shot because it was so life-changing for me after so much struggle. And that's really it. And then here we are 4 years later.
Awesome. I love it. I love your story, Nicolette. And honestly, you have done some amazing things with kind of getting your coaches started right. And so what are some tips that you guys have been doing this year that have kind of just set them in the right path?
So first, going back to, obviously I do this full time and I'm a mom of 2 small children. One thing that we've implemented on my team is the Miracle Morning. I mean, that book was all the rage even back in 2016, 2017, I believe, but I was just like, nope, I'm going to sleep in and I'm not going to wake up until my children drag me out of bed. And this year we, as a team, decided, okay, we're going to get up at either 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. and we're going to take back time in our day. We're all busy. Like, everyone is busy. We know this, but you can take back time. You can take back hours in the start of your day. And so for some of us, that's 4 a.m. For me, 5 to 7 is my Miracle Morning. And then my kids get up around 7. And it's really empowering to be able to wake up on your own with your own plan, to sit and work in peace and quiet with a cup of coffee, turn on music, do whatever you need to do, and accomplish so much before the day technically even starts. And it's obviously not easy when that alarm goes off at 4 or 5 to kick your feet out of bed and, go get to work. But what a blessing that we can show up to work looking like total crap in our pajamas and still do big things. So myself, all the team leaders that I have, every one of us is up at 4 or 5 a.m. And some of them, that's when they get in their workout because they could do power hour later in the day. But for the most of us, we sit and we have that structured work time. And it's helpful because we know that we're all up. We can get on Messenger and chat with each other, text each other. We'll get responses because we're there. We're all up doing it together. And a lot of them, even with their teams, they'll just pop out a Zoom link. They're nothing structured, but they'll just be together on Zoom, working, seeing each other's face, being able to ask questions if they need to. But you just look over and you see your team like, hey, doing power hour. Okay. And they just stay connected like that, which they love. That works really well for them. Another one of my coaches does her workouts, and she has a whole 5 a.m. club of people, her challengers and coaches who do workouts together on Zoom at 5 a.m. So it's just really a great way to take control of your business. If you feel like, well, I don't have enough time in the day, get up earlier. And do your miracle morning as it is designed for you. And they do have a miracle morning for network marketers specifically, which I thought was just really, really helpful. So that's the number one thing that we have done so far this year.
Nicolette, what do you say to the person that's like, I am absolutely not a morning person. I can't make that happen.
Drink some freaking coffee, energize, you can make it happen. You 100% can. One of my leaders, Catherine Cowan, actually, she is that person. She's like, and she has a newborn. She's still up and down all night nursing. And then she's got a toddler boy. So she already is running off of no sleep, but she wasn't able to get in her workout during the day anymore with her 2 little ones. And so she knew, okay, I have to get up early, take my Energize, and do my workout, because if I don't, it's not getting done. And it's, once you get into the habit of it, once you start doing it, you know how good it feels. It definitely becomes easier.
Absolutely. No, I 100% agree. If what the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve, right? So 100%. And Catherine is a leader, man. She's getting up, and even though she's up and down in the middle of the night with that baby, that's amazing. So that's good stuff. So let's jump into to tip number 2. Does anyone have any questions about Miracle Morning? Maybe what that kind of looks like for Nicolette and her team before we move on to tip 2? People are like, yes, Miracle Morning. I need to get up. Great. All right. Love it. All right, Nicolette. So let's move on to tip 2. What are some other things that you're doing with your team? Maybe some things that you're saying that have really got them going.
So one thing that we have started to really focus on heavily as far as onboarding new coaches is marketing. It's now more than ever, it's so important for us to be intentional about what we're putting out there on social media, because there's so many people, I don't want to say they do it wrong, but they do it in such a way that's just, it's making the whole organization have a certain vibe of just, oh, we're taking fitness selfies. It's a really shallow journey. They're just trying to sell stuff, instead of really letting people in on a deeper level of who you are, why you're truly here, not just saying what you're doing, but why you're doing it. Unfortunately, with how social media has changed lately, we don't have to post tons of posts every day. I train my team to just design 7 posts a week. That's it. And then put 1 post a day out there in a way that's going to give people, it's going to capture your color wheel. It's going to let them in on who you are, what your passions are, inside and outside of health, fitness, coaching, Beachbody, so that if someone goes to your profile and they scroll it, they're not just going to see workout. They're going to see, your family, hobbies that you have, things that you love, an invite, they have to know that, yes, you have a challenge group coming up. It's exclusive. Here's how they can enroll. Here's the start date. Here's how many spots are left. But that's not all they need to know. They need to know how they can connect with you on another level. So in my new coach training, I've been focusing a lot on that and being a lot more bold myself and calling them out and saying, you know, your posts need a little help. Like, let's figure out how we can tweak these. Stop using Beachbody hashtags and stuff. You know, if you did the 21-day fix workout and you're so excited about it, don't just say, day 3, I feel great, but tell people, why are you feeling great? What gave you the energy to get up and do this workout? What are your goals with it by the end of that 21 days? So I've always been the coach that's like super duper nice cheerleader, but for me and for all of my newer coaches, it's been a lot more helpful for me to be, you know, a little bit more tough when it comes to what they're putting out there on social media, because I don't want them to be a shallow coach, and they're not going to expand if they're not, you know, sharing a deeper version of their journey.
100% agree. I mean, you have to, when you're reading that post, feel that, like, why do I feel amazing after day 3 or day 4? I think that's where that connection piece starts to come in through social media. So I love it. Love that tip. And sharing more, obviously, about you. It's not just invite, right, through my post, but, you know, it's connecting with you. It's sharing more about your family. But I love the piece where you say, you got to be bold. As a leader, they're looking to you, and you got to go to them and say, you know what, let's take a look at your posting. Let's go through some things that we can do a little bit better. So I like that, Nicolette. Mm-hmm. Any questions about marketing to Nicolette? Anyone have any questions about that, or things that she does with her newer coaches?
How do you, I love what you said about giving them, you know, kind of tough love on their posts, especially if it's not quality. Like, what's your process in doing that, though? Like, how do you, if you notice that one of your coaches is doing those things, how do you approach it or bring it up?
What I'll typically do is I'll just pop in on Messenger and be like, hey, I saw, you know, you posted about, I'm using this one as an example because one of my coaches literally just did this and I had to give her a little tough love. It's like, I saw you just posted that you completed, you know, day 3 of 21-day fix. That's so great. You're putting yourself out there. You know, you're taking the selfie, you're doing the things. Do you mind if I give you a little bit of feedback? And then typically they're like, well, yeah, I want to learn all I can. Like, I want to know how to do this right. And that's when I'll say, I need you to just go ahead and remove the hashtags from your posts on Facebook, because those don't help. And people don't need to see hashtag 21-day fix. And next time you post that you've done your workout, talk about how you feel. Talk about what motivated you to do it, you know, dig a little bit deeper so that people aren't just seeing that you're doing it, because they're not going to care, but they're going to care why you're doing it, especially those who can relate to you. And, you know, she'll probably make the same mistake again, and I'll pop back in again and be like, you mind if I give you a little feedback again? And that's okay, because it is a learning curve. But I was in the habit of assuming, okay, well, I gave lots of examples in my coach training, so they must get it. Or they're just, they don't feel like working their business at the level that I wish them to. But honestly, they just need help. So that's usually, I just ask, can I give you some feedback, and, you know, go from there.
Awesome. Great tip. Ashley just asked, do you give your team a marketing calendar, Nicolette, or do you kind of just let them post what they want?
I do. Every month I'll give them some kind of marketing calendar, but honestly, I rarely see anyone following it. But I think that it is comforting for them to see it each month. So it's worthwhile to make. And I just keep it really simple. 1 post a day, putting yourself out there. You know, when I'll read off the 7 main posts. Where's my phone? That I have them make. So, and this is from, if you guys haven't done this, Jasmine Starr from Social Curator. She does an Instagram challenge where she basically challenges you to post once a day on Instagram, and she gives you ideas of what to post. And that's where these came from. And this has been so helpful for me in terms of designing my posts each day. And that way I could just write them up, you know, one day and then schedule them out. It's Social Curator is her group, and her name is Jasmine Starr. Where is this? Okay, of course, now I can't find it. Oh, here we go. Okay, so 7 different post types. This is what I teach my team. The first one is benefits. So you're using curiosity to plant seeds about our products and what the benefits are to using the products. And obviously we've got tons to choose from. Post type number 2 would be a transformation. Or showcasing some kind of service that you offer, like a testimonial to your challenge group or something like that. Number 3 would be sharing your why, your passion, your purpose, when it comes to either why you're working out or why you're choosing to take care of your body or why you're loving coaching, whatever, you would like to get people to join, whether it's challenge or business. You position your why and your passion post around that. Number 4 would be a behind the scenes, just to let people in on, okay, here's what it really looks like when I'm push and play on my workout in my living room with my kids running around, or here's how I work during the day with so much life happening, or, you just give them a little glimpse into your perfectly imperfect life and how you're still winning the day as a coach or in your fitness journey. Number 5 would be motivation or encouragement, which is pretty self-explanatory. Number 6 would be personal insight. I like to, give people ideas of clean food brands that I'm loving right now, kids' toys ideas, but also asking for help, asking for feedback. My daughter had a splinter in her toe, and I put it out there on Facebook, and I was just like, I can't get this thing out of her toe. What do I do? And so many people were there ready to help and offer ideas. So either offering tips or insight or asking for it. And those are great engagement posts too. And then the last one would be sharing your story, an about me section. And this doesn't have to do with anything about coaching. You're not sharing your whole, this is how Beachbody has changed my life, but just kind of introducing yourself or telling a story from high school or, telling about something that happened over the weekend. And that just kind of builds trust and lets people in a little bit deeper on who you are and how they can connect with you. So those are the 7 types of posts that I try to train my people to post once a day, those types of things. And if you do that, people are going to get a well-rounded perspective of you've got great products, you've got, groups coming up, transformations are happening, but then also everything else that they can relate to.
Awesome. I love those 7 tips, Nicolette. And then, what's the name of it? Like you said, it's Social Curator?
Social Curator. And it's her 30 Days of SC challenge, which SC, funny enough, I know we're all thinking Success Club. How does she know about that? But SC for Social Curator. And she teaches on that format. I think hers is a little bit different. I may have tweaked mine, but I can't remember. But she does tons of examples, and I think she does a free 5-day one or something. I can't remember. She's always got something going on with it though. So I highly suggest getting plugged into it because it was really helpful for me in terms of Instagram.
Awesome. What was number 1? I missed number 1. I got 2 through 7.
Number 1 was benefits. So you're planting seeds about all of our awesome products.
Gotcha. Awesome, Nicolette. Those are great tips. Thank you. Anyone have any questions about those 7 tips, or about Social Curator?
I do.
Jump in, Michelle.
So Nicolette, and sorry, it's dark on my face, guys. Anyway, you mentioned that, oh darn it, now I'm going to lose it. I lost it. It'll come back. I'll type it in the chat. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. And then Renee, it is Jasmine. Okay. Let's move on to tip number 3, right? Did you have like a number that works?
Yeah, I've got 5 of them. And
okay.
There's 3 here.
5 tips. Okay. All right. Let's make it happen. Let's jump into tip number 3 then.
Okay. So another thing that I have been doing with my coaching team, I was feeling so scattered. Like I couldn't keep on top of them all. Not that we need to keep on top of them all, but I felt like people were needing help and I was missing it, and they were getting burnt out or getting frustrated, and I wasn't, meeting them where they need to be met to conquer different areas of their business so that they can grow and not stay stuck. So I formed message pods and different groups, but not based on rank, because I feel like rank doesn't really have a whole lot to do with how hard they're willing to hustle or if they're going to continue to grow in their business. People get to diamond and they fall out and then they quit all the time. So it's like, saying, okay, these are my diamond leaders. You don't know. So I kind of sat down and thought to myself, what are the areas of their business that they have to just dominate and make a habit out of before they can grow further in their business? And so I came up with 4 different pods that I put my team into. So number 1 is the new coach training. Like all new coaches, we come together in a message pod, and then there's a Facebook group. And my goal for them is to not just breeze through it as quick as they can and say, okay, it's done, I'm done, what do I do next? But to take action every single day and to get Success Club points on the board. And they cannot graduate from the new coach training unless they hit a certain criteria. Where did my thing go? I have it all written out right here. So in order to graduate, and I call it, they get their LEAP badge because they've taken a leap of faith into the business, they're taking action in their business, and when they can graduate from the new coach training, I'll send them a $25 Amazon card so they can get an iPhone tripod. But they have to be able to agree to these statements. I have completed every lesson of the new coach training. I have made my new coach announcement post. I've saved all notes and tools in Google Drive or Evernote so I can easily access, or Evernote for easy access to help me in my business. I've created my list of 100 connections that I could work with to start my business. I understand how to navigate my Coach Online office and use ShareCart. I will ask questions and collaborate with my peers. I fully understand and commit to the vital behaviors. And when they can agree to all of that and have points on the board, they can graduate with their LEAP badge and get their Amazon gift card. And then from there, they go into my Power Hour habit group. Okay, so now they get the thing. Like, they understand how to show up to work. They know how to do the things, but will they do them? Will they commit to a power hour and create a habit out of it? So this next crew is all for creating the power hour habit. And I call this the boss badge. And when they can graduate from this, they get a day designer gift card so they can, have a fun little planner, schedule all their power hours. But in this group, we have a message thread and we have a Facebook group, and they all create albums in the group and take a picture of their power hour every day and post it. So we just all have albums and we're adding to it every day. And they have to do it at least 4 times a week. Otherwise, they're out and they're not ready to, create the power hour habit. They need to decide, am I doing this to build a business, or am I just kind of treating this as a hobby? Do I want to grow, or do I want to just not? So they can graduate from this group when they can agree to, I have a daily schedule / routine and a backup plan that fits my lifestyle. I've chosen a power hour or win the week tracker. I'm committed to completing a power hour each day. I'm committed to 10 hours a week minimum to work my business. I have a tracking system for contacts, follow-ups, invites. And then the boss badge is earned when they can agree to all of that and are hitting at least Success Club 5 or higher consistently, and they've gotten beyond Emerald rank. Because if you're doing those things every day, you're going to be hitting Success Club, and you're going to be, finding new coaches. So once they graduate with their boss badge and they have their, day designer gift card, then they go into my marketing group, which is where we focus a lot more, obviously, on marketing. And I call this the influencer badge. So they're learning to become influential on social media. So we dig into who is their niche market? How can they expand more quickly? What are freemiums that they can offer that would talk to their audience. And the goal being, you're digging into your cold market. You gotta, connect with these people, get to know them through the posts you share, become an influencer, lead by example. And so they can graduate with their influencer badge, which they'll get a Target gift card. And I prompt them to get something fun and exciting for their office space at home. But when they can agree to the following statements, they can graduate. I know my niche and life phase. I have several sets of hashtags to go with my Instagram posts according to my niche. I have sets of hashtags and accounts to target for new connections. I post at least 7 to 9 stories and use tags and geolocators each day. I go live on Facebook at least once a week. I post on Facebook and Instagram every day. I map out my marketing plan and have a posting system. I have narrowed my favorite ways to add value and offer insight. I run and market my own free groups. I run and market for my own challenge groups. And the influencer badge is earned when they've agreed to all of those things. They're hitting Success Club 5 or higher, and they're consistently adding at least 2 coaches each month, whether discount, business, hobby, whatever, at least 2 coaches a month. And then from there, they go into leadership. And this is typically people that are diamond and beyond. They're nearing team leader on the leadership ladder. And together we focus on onboarding, helping our new coaches hit Success Club, in more detailed things like Facebook ads, Instagram ads, what's working there. And we, collaborate that way. And this with the people that I have in my leadership group right now, they're all diamonds, star diamonds, who are team leaders on the leadership ladder. So it's not overwhelming for them to hear about Facebook ads or things like that, because they've already accomplished the new coach training. They have the power hour habit. They know how to do the vitals. They're not afraid to go live and put themselves out there on social media. Their posts are great. So what else can they learn to grow and reach more people, and get more eyes on them? And so that's kind of how I've divided everything up. And when they've graduated with the leadership badge, I give them a flight gift card, since, we all know as leaders in Beachbody, we're going on all kinds of trips and adventures. So that's kind of how I've mapped out my different groups. And the thing that's really helpful is, we obviously have the message pods where we can collaborate and, encourage one another. But the Facebook groups allow me to be able to go in live and talk to all of them. And I'm not having to talk about in the marketing group, power hour and inviting and stuff like that, because they get it now. So I could do a lot better focused training and mentorship in those groups with those people, meeting them where they're at in their business. And then they can collaborate together too, which is really helpful.
Nicolette, oh my gosh. This is amazing. I mean, this is so good. I mean, this is a great way to manage your coaches. Not only that, but it's getting them to do the specific, activities that are going to help them be successful in their own business. I mean, I love the elite badge, the boss badge, the influence badge, and the leadership badge. That is so, is it actually an actual badge they get, or what is it just hey, here's
right now it's just on a sheet of paper, but I do want to figure out a way to make it cooler, put some kind of image on something, maybe a Tumblr or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But all of this, I put all of this together probably 2 months ago, and I'm still in the works of implementing it on my team. But as of right now, for the Power Hour Habit, the new coaches, and then you can also, for those of you who use Streak, you can kind of put them into these different categories in your Streak and email all of those people who are working on their Power Hour and just check in on them, give them encouragement relevant to consistency in their business, that sort of thing. And then you've got your marketing people, you've got your leaders. And so it makes it feel so much more manageable to support so many people, but still keeping it intimate and, helpful for them.
Love it. Nicolette, we've got a few questions in regards to, can you share the questions you ask after graduation, or is that
I haven't right now. I just have them agree to it. And then I'll look, on their social media, and I'll make sure that they are posting, within the Power Hour group. I could see they're posting their Power Hours, that sort of thing. 4 pods. And that's really it. As I continue to implement, I'm sure that I'll do new things. One thing that I do want to do is create an exit form for each one, just so I can kind of have the coach restate, okay, well, what are my struggles? What have I learned? Just all of that stuff. But yeah, still.
I think what I love the most about it, it's like, it's action from day one, but like they're earning these badges, but it's like, I'm doing actual things instead of going on YouTube or other places and like learning, but never doing. It's
right.
like, I'm doing now all the time. And I love that. It's good. Okay, well, let's jump in. Do you have one more tip, or is it
I've got a couple more, but these are very quick.
Let's do it. Let's jump in. Let's do it.
Okay, so next tip would be freemiums. I really try to encourage coaches from the get-go to offer free to their community. So, and I think we overthink this way too much. Like, oh my gosh, but what can I do that's free? Or I have to put in so much work and effort. And so then we just stick with, no, buy from me. Join my challenge group. But with free groups or freemiums, they're really so simple to put together. And you might find yourself with a community on Facebook that explodes, like Stephanie Mayalki and her Diastasis Recti community. I have one that I've been adding to for 2 years now, and it's got almost 1,700 people in it. And they're just people who like my free 5-day fitness challenges. And one that I created was a top 10 tips for toning up. And all I did was just think, what are 10 things that I've done since I started with Beachbody, like 10 good habits that I've made, and then I turn it into a PDF, which you could easily pay someone on $5 to make it pretty. And then I ask, okay, I get emails like comment below or fill out this form if you want my top 10, tips for toning up, whatever you want to call it. Recipes, things like that. There's so many ways that you can collect email addresses and expand your market by adding free value to people. And this could be related to health and fitness or not. So I encourage my new coaches. I equip them with a free 5-day. I think it's a booty boot camp or something like that I give them, so they can, from the get-go, their first 30 days, they're running their own free group, and then from there they'll just kind of figure out, okay, what am I going to do next? What can I put together myself? And start adding value to their community that way. But I think the leading with free is so important, especially, if anyone's going to try to attempt ads, or pay, you're going to get a lot more action if it's something that's free, not something that's join me, here's how you can buy.
No, it's a good point. I mean, that's it's gold. I mean, you really want to be getting email addresses from people so that you can email blast and look for opportunities to get them more involved with you. So I love it. Okay, let's dive into. Oh, does anyone have any questions about that? I mean, about the free and how she utilizes that before we move on to the last couple tips?
Do you do those, or does your team do those just as groups on Facebook, or like how you mentioned, you make yours into a PDF and it gets emailed? So is it kind of like a one-off, here you go, here's the free thing you wanted, or is it more like community and connection in a Facebook group?
They're all on groups on Facebook, and I encourage them to just continue adding people to that group. So it's, even if you go a different route, like I do the free 5-day fitness challenges, but then I have the PDF that I'll sometimes put out there from time to time. And when I email that out, I just make sure I say, you can also join my, I call it a self-restoration community here, and then they can click into that too.
Gold. Awesome. That was a good question, Michelle. And okay, well, let's dive into these last few tips. I'm excited.
Well, this is the last one, and it's just, you got to get on the bandwagon. Like, we have so many programs coming out, And I think a lot of people are like, well, I'm going to do the 21 day fix, or well, I'm going to do this, that, or the other, or I don't know. And they're kind of not 100% following their program. But for our team, it's helped so much when we're all doing 80-day obsession together. And we're not just kind of doing it, we're doing it. And now with Lift 4 starting Monday, we're doing it together, and we're 100% going all in with it. And then, with the Shift Shop Proving Grounds, shortly after that, everyone getting in on that together, and collaborating ways to market for that together, and creating hype. You can create so much more hype when you're all doing it together. So the programs that are coming out, even though you might think like, well, I don't know if it's for me, like transform 20 minutes, a step. I don't know. My husband has already said he's not doing it. I'm like, you don't even understand what it is. It's not step aerobics. But, get on the bandwagon and don't just kind of do it, but like become the poster board for it and learn everything you can about it and completely conquer it. And that's how you're going to get the most people wanting to do it right along with you.
And it's so true. I mean, these guys have heard me say it, but enthusiasm really is the catalyst for your business. You got to be excited. You got to be the face of that program. Like, you are the new face of Lift 4, and show that excitement, because if you're not excited about it, no one else really cares, right? So, I mean, I think it's super important that, that you have that fire and that passion for each of the programs, for the products. And Nicolette, you definitely are one who does have that enthusiasm, and I can see that in your posts. So, holy crap, these have been amazing tips, Nicolette. Thank you so much for being here, and enlightening us with all this information. I don't want to shortchange anyone. I know that we're out of time, but does anyone have any last, dying, I have to ask this question before we close the call?
Can I ask a question? Yeah. Okay. First of all, those pods are genius and amazing. So thank you for sharing those.
You're welcome.
With that, so I've tried to do pods a bunch of times too. How do you handle when someone, so say you have 30 people in this new coach pod, or maybe, I guess, how do you remove them over time if they're not doing their stuff, or do you just keep them in there? And then off of that, say they graduate into the boss one or the influencer one, but then they stop doing the things. Do you put them back into the new coach one or the habit one? How do you go about when people kind of fall off?
I think that it would have to be, let's get on the phone and talk about your goals, where you are, because I've kind of noticed you're backpedaling a little bit. And if they're like, well, I'm struggling to stay on top of working every day, then they can go back and stay accountable in the Power Hour group. Mm-hmm. Or, if they're just like, you know what, I can't handle it all right now. I need to back off and be a hobby coach for a little while. Then, you just pull them out and say, well, I don't want your notifications or dinging you and you're getting stressed out. So let me pull you out. And then you can tell me if situations change and you want to get more deeply involved again.
Okay, perfect. And then when they go into each pod, I know you talked about kind of what their focus is on that. Do you have a training for each pod then, or is it just kind of the conversations that you're having in these messages?
It's just the conversations. They totally lead it. And if I'm noticing, okay, a lot of them are struggling with this, or I need to define this, then I'll just go live in the group and tag them, or just pop in the message pod and say, I just posted a live video about this. You're going to want to go check it out.
Perfect. Thank you. Last question, I promise. How long on average are you seeing people move from pod to pod? How long is it taking your new coaches to go from that new coach to the Power Hour to the next one? And I know that's different for everyone, but.
Right. I mean, right now I haven't really been moving anyone because we're just now implementing it and getting started with it, but I give them suggested times. For the new coach training, my suggested time estimation is 3 to 6 weeks. Then for creating the Power Hour, suggested time would be 4 to 8 weeks. Because they definitely want to have enough time to make it a habit and understand how to show up for their business. Marketing, 8 to 12 weeks. It's going to take a while to figure out your voice and how to talk to your people and start to grow and expand. I give those suggested times, but it will absolutely be different for everyone.
Perfect. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Great questions, guys. I will post this recording in our Elite, and Push Premier group. And seriously, Nicolette, like, thank you so much for coming in here and just kind of laying it out. I mean, this is amazing stuff. And I know that this is stuff that people can implement and really help their coaches taking instant action. So that's awesome stuff. Thank you. Thank you. All right, guys, I will see you all next week, same time. All right, guys.